The battle over Alabama's same-sex marriage ban is once again pitting Chief Justice Roy Moore against the federal government. Good evening, I'm Sherry Jackson. A similar matchup led to his removal from office years ago. New tonight, WIAT 42 News reporter Mike McClanahan explores if Moore will challenge the feds to the same extent this time.
Here we are 10 years later, and the issue is same-sex marriage. But so far, the stand that Moore is taking looks awfully familiar. We wanted to know point blank if Moore will back down from the federal appeals court if it rules against the state's ban. Here's his answer.
No. And the reason being is because our court has held this court is not bound by decisions of lower federal courts. And in 2008, it specifically said this court, Alabama Supreme Court, is not bound by decisions of the United States Court of Appeals or the United States district courts. So we're not bound by their decisions. So I'm not going to be removed for something I'm not bound for.
In 2004, Alabama Supreme Court Chief Justice Roy Moore was defiant until the day he was stripped of his office for non-compliance with a U.S. Supreme Court decision. He refused to move a monument to the Ten Commandments at the state Supreme Court building. He was re-elected in 2012, and now he is resisting another federal court ruling, this time over same-sex marriage. Moore says he expects to uphold Alabama's ban on same-sex marriage whether or not the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals agrees.
It's not defiance of a federal court. It's simply stating that the federal court has its jurisdiction and the state courts have theirs.
Notably, the ruling in question would force Alabama to recognize the same-sex marriage of one of Moore's former campaign workers, Carrie Searcy. She edited video and radio ads that helped him win the position most recently. Now she regrets it.
Bottom line, we are Americans first, and the Constitution is here to protect all citizens, not just the ones that think a certain way. And, I think the law makes that very clear, and our ruling makes that very clear. You can't discriminate against your neighbors. You just can't. That's not the American way.
Now, Justice Moore tells us only the Supreme Court has the jurisdiction over state courts, but it's not clear what he will do if it gets that far because he wants to make it clear he won't back down beforehand. Mike McClanahan, WIAT 42 News. Coverage you can count on.